St. Patrick's Day passed, and unfortunately, some of us probably also had too much to drink. If you find yourself charged with drunk driving, Jansen Alfrey can help you navigate the legal system and avoid making more mistakes. Jansen Alfrey, attorneys at law, are members of the Colorado and Denver Bar Association. They belong to the Colorado Criminal Defense Bar and the National College of DUI Defense Attorneys, and they have no complaints registered with the Better Business Bureau. Molly Jansen and Kurt Alfrey join us today. Thank you both for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're going to be talking about DUIs today. The reality of the situation is that around holidays is when the DUI count always goes up.
Right.
You always preach to people, if you're going to drink, don't drive. You continually say that time after time on our show and every other show that you do.
Pretty much. We say don't drink anything and drive. The number one goal is to get people off the road and to make good choices before they leave their house. So if you think you're going to go drink, take a cab, call a friend. Don't even get your car to the location that you plan to go drink at. That will eliminate the first step in, what do I do with my car when I leave here? And then hopefully that won't be an issue because your car's not sitting in the parking lot or out front of the party.
I never figured out why they had parking lots at bars.
I don't know. That would really help if they eliminated that.
That's right.
Or if you got towed pretty quickly,
Yeah,
right after you left
Bus
your
stop at
car.
every bar, right?
You know. So, but yes, stop drinking and driving. Just don't do it out of the gate.
So it's important for people to know that really just to plan ahead and just be smart about the choices you make because there's a lot of consequences that come with a DUI, losing your license, criminal charges, possible jail time, loss of job. I mean, you've mentioned all these things on the show, and then you've also mentioned too, I mean, if you even had one or two drinks and have your kids in the car, you could be potentially looking at child abuse.
That's right. And I think a lot of people have heard about the new law that came into effect in July of 2010. I don't think people really understood the impact, especially if they had had a prior conviction for DWAI or DUI in this state or any other, frankly, at any time. You are looking at a mandatory jail sentence if this is your second offense. And it doesn't matter if you had a DUI back in 1973. It is still going to haunt you and you're still looking at mandatory jail. No in-home detention, no work release, it's straight up.
Now, St. Patrick's Day was Thursday night.
Okay.
So I'm sure some people spent the night in detox, getting out Friday morning, right? Saturday morning today. It's not too late to contact an attorney if they haven't already done so.
Well, it's never too late, but it's also rarely too early.
Okay.
This isn't you didn't get a speeding ticket. You've got something that's going to affect your driver's license possibly, and that's a very short window. We've talked about it's a 7-day window sometimes to request that DMV hearing. You need to get on that right away, and there's a lot of rights that are in play with timeframes on them. So getting an attorney on board, knowing what you're doing right away can really save you a lot of pain down the line.
Right. And again, you're not saying to the people, oh, it's okay, you made a mistake. You do say that. You made a mistake, we're going to help you. Everyone is entitled to a good defense. And really, if they don't find a good attorney, they could be facing a lot more charges than they would be facing had they had a good attorney to help them through the process, because it is a process and it's confusing and it's complicated.
It is, and I think the number one thing that we want to say in terms of our firm is that we're not here to judge you personally. We're here to make sure that the police did what they were supposed to do and that your rights are protected and that you know the process. You know what you're looking at in terms of consequences and what that sort of whole picture is going to look like so that you understand as you go through on what choices you need to make in terms of whether you plead, whether you go to trial, what you decide to do with DMV, and that's where an attorney can come in and we can give you that free information so that you're educated through the process. But we're not here to make a personal judgment. We're here to defend you and to look at the law and look at your case specifically and see what we can do and where things may have gone wrong.
And DUIs are a little bit different because from the prosecution or the defense standpoint, they're far more complicated than your average stabbing case, right? It's pretty simple. Someone got stabbed, right?
Yes.
But, I mean, DUI involves science, it involves a lot of experts, it involves a lot of statutes, and there's a lot of rules about what the police can do and should do. And frankly, you need to have someone that knows all of that so they can make sure your rights weren't run over in the process of you getting charged.
All right, I'm going to tell them how to get a hold of you, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Jansen Alfrey wants to ensure that you're represented fairly and informed about the charges against you before you make a bad decision. They're a criminal defense law firm. They handle everything from traffic offenses to domestic violence to DUI to major felonies. Call them at 303-297-3500 or visit their website at jansenalfrey.com. They offer free consultations. The number again is 303-297-3500.